Let's turn to Revelation and read what John wrote about the cause of these catastrophes, what it is that stops the earth, showers meteorites and fire upon the earth, raises mountains, moves oceans around, and wreaks havoc the world over. In verse 10 of chapter 8 we read, "And there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the rivers and upon the fountains of waters." A star? Could a distant star cause these things? Again in chapter 9, verse 1, John wrote, "And I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth." There's that star again. What John seems to be saying here is that a star will have something to do with the strange phenomenon we've been reading about. In fact, he points to the star as the cause of the water turning to blood. And here's another parallel. In the book of Acts, Exodus is connected to a star. Now, understand, in ancient parlance, the term star can be applied to any celestial body. A comet or a planet will do as nicely as a star. After all, they all look about the same to an earthly observer. The important point to gather here is that events like Joshua's long day, or the Exodus plagues, or Revelation's latter-day calamities are all caused by extraterrestrial bodies. No? Sound far-fetched? Well, let's read what Joseph Smith had to say about the last days. "There will be signs in the heavens above and on the earth beneath, the sun turned into darkness and the moon to blood, earthquakes in diverse places, the seas heaving beyond their bounds." Well, those are the same things we've been talking about, right? But he goes on to pinpoint the cause. "Then will appear one grand sign of the Son of Man in heaven. But what will the world do? They will say, it is a planet, a comet, and so forth." A planet? A comet? Could this be John's star? Was the great pillar of fire and smoke of the Exodus really a planet-sized comet, head and tail standing vertically on the horizon? In light of Joshua's experience, Mormon's amazing statements, and John's prophetic declarations, who can doubt what Joseph Smith was talking about? He even associated several of the secondary phenomena with the principal cause. That is, he associated the heavenly signs, the moving water, the earthquakes, and the darkness with the planet or comet. Though he didn't elaborate on this idea in print, many early saints and brethren report similar statements by the prophet Joseph Smith. Now, this we know, a comet or planet moving far from the earth could cause no such damage. Joseph Smith's statement clearly implies a close pass, or a near miss, if you will. In 1950, an eminent scholar named Emanuel Velikovsky first proposed that a comet-like, planet-sized body moving close to the Earth could cause the kind of destructive phenomena we've been talking about. He claimed that the debris from the tail, together with the gravitational and electromagnetic effects of the passing body, caused the events recorded in Scripture, as in Exodus and Joshua. Ironically, Dr. Velikovsky used the same two words to describe the destructive star of the Exodus as Joseph Smith used to describe the grand sign of the last days, comet and planet. I believe they used identical terms because they were describing nearly identical events, one historic, the other prophetic. Now, let's look at one more piece of evidence. When John wrote of a star causing all these signs, he touched upon a fascinating point of history. In antiquity, there was a primary goddess worshipped by virtually every ancient civilization. She was known universally as the Queen of Heaven, but she went by many names, each from a different culture. She was known as Aster, Astarte, Ashtoreth, Ishtar, Hathor, and so forth. Now, notice that each of these names share a common root, which in English became the words star and astro. Considering that bit of etymology, what do you think gave rise to the worship of this ancient Queen of Heaven? Apparently, the gods and goddesses of antiquity were inspired in the minds of men by celestial apparitions. Call them comets, or planets, or stars. So the prophets were right. Star is the proper word. Even the English words for the kind of super destructive planet-wide events we've been talking about retain this same root. Consider the words catastrophe and disaster. What do you think was the agent behind the worst kind of destruction imaginable? One interpretation of the word disaster is literally from the star. The key remains in our language. It was astro-destruction, ruin from the stars. No wonder ancient man watched, implored, and even worshipped celestial bodies. So, as we've seen, Joshua's long day really was long. The earth actually stopped turning. Latter-day Saints cannot question Joshua's claim thanks to the clarity of the Book of Mormon. And accepting that truth opens wide the door to new insights into history and prophecy. We must consider the possibility, as Mormon plainly wrote, that these things do happen. Otherwise, why would John speak of a star causing these woes, as he called them? Or why would Joseph Smith talk about a comet or planet if such were not true? Read Revelation or Isaiah or even the Doctrine and Covenants with this new point of view. The eyes of your understanding will be opened, believe me. It's always been there in your scriptures, but now you'll see things you've never seen before. Your view of the scriptures, history, and prophecy will be forever changed.